surprised to see the Renata. I do like the combo of the Renata and the Draven. That can be a pretty fun lane down in the bottom side. And also there are a lot of champions from OMG that are looking to jump in. That ulti, that hostile takeover.
OMG challenges, not really, because Rio is all the way in Narnia on the top side, just clearing out his cams. But that is level 6 acquired and the first dragon of the game for LGD.
So losing out onto that flash, having as much of a push top lane at the point at which those grubs were taking. There was no reason for you to go too aggressive, Starry.
TongYuan, if he can tank it up first and give the cash over to Xiaoye, beautifully executed. First blood and the cash in goes over to Xiaoye's Draven.
And Haichao didn't even arrive. Did he get his teleport cancelled on through as well? Really unfortunate. And the fact that they now get 2, it's going to put so much extra pressure on OMG to try to compete around this Drake. Now, we still haven't gotten to see a full team fight at the moment. Harry and Sasa not interested whatsoever in getting involved. Instead, it was TongYuan stepping up.
The fact that they had 2 in the mid lane pushing, and Harry pushing on the top lane. He got Rift Herald about halfway through, hits health bar. 3k HP, Hong now sees it. Can they look for a steal? Glacial Fissure breaks open the fight. Hong secures the Rift Herald away from OMG, but can anyone pick up the eye? Everyone from OMG is stepping on top of it to make sure that it goes down so that no one can summon the Herald later on. The bot side that TongYuan was unlocked with thanks to Hong getting aggressive in the jungle. Also, takeover is at the ready. Jump in from Rio, splits them apart. Hostile takeover, snags on the 2. Rio and Moham trying to kill each other as they are forced to flash away. Now Sasa is in the fray, looking to cut them down with the needlework. Haichao separating one on the right side.
What is this fight?
Flash to get out. The fight is completely split apart. Rio's the first casualty in the fight, and now OMG are trying to run down Xiaoye and prevent a cash-in from coming out. Harry has completely split off the Draven, and there will be no money left saved up for LGD's AD carry to cash in, but Hong is able to blast Haichao back to the fountain with a bonk stick. And now Harry in a 1v3. Can he make a miracle happen? He's forced to retreat. The flash empowered rune prison from TongYuan will put an end to the Ambessa's reign. But now a new challenger potentially approaches in Moham's Braum. But he doesn't have smite, so there's no chance in trying to yoink this one away. It's 3 dragons to LGD in game 1 of this series.
Right here. And oh boy, this Yanara is now looking pretty strong. Starry is now in a pretty good position to be able to take over the game if he feels like he can with those Fiend Hunter bolts. Obviously, synergizes incredibly well with the ulti. Ryu looking for something a little bit sneaky right here, a little bit of a lane gank. Sasa does have a lot of damage and survivability available to him though, and just about gonna wander back down. Oh no.
He doesn't know. Oh no, Sasa does have a flash available. Okay, well, he just runs to the right side.
Skip and slash, apparently, was all that was really needed to be able to get Sasa back away from this fight. And this has been the problem for OMG that we have seen. As much as Rio looked really good on the Vi during the early game, he wasn't actually particularly impressive in the early stages of the game on this.
Front-to-back fights are not really in our favor, especially when we're down this much gold. Let's just try and split individuals and isolate them for our carries to jump onto. Just like with YCX, he does get tagged with the full Braum passive. Rio jumps in, crescent guard, but the hostile takeover well-timed, and it allows YCX to live. But Xiaoye doesn't collect on another cash-in from Rio's body, as he's able to sidestep the second part of that whirling death.
We'll take this fight in a couple of seconds' time. Has been really important so far. We've seen also YCX, getting that plop on the teleport onto Haichao. He's overall played himself a very competent
nearly down
top lane.
4.5 thousand gold. Yeah, I mean, LGD know that OMG are the ones forced to try and steal the dragon or deny the dragon soul away from them.
TP.
We're TPing in this fight,
really?
Okay. That's cool. I thought you would just want to continue pushing on the top side, but LGD want to try and finish this game right here, right now, off of this fight. Rio pops the crescent guard. Glacial Fissure hits no one, but it does split up the fight even more. Hostile takeover only tags 1. Great use of the shield by Moham to block that for the rest of the team. Haichao looks for the play. Ember's Divide running to Hong, but the Cyclone isn't the answer. He's the first casualty. The rest of OMG trying to continue playing through Story and Haichao as he is eliminated, and so is Story. Here comes Sasa and Xiaoye ready to cash on in. Triple kill for TongYuan as he once again leads LGD to victory and sends Rio packing.
Tangyuan just dealing the damage right there during the fight, managing to land so many bounces through. Also just going to teleport himself up to the top side and make sure that Rio will go down. That does leave Sasa a little bit vulnerable right here, just about going to be able to jump away. I think Rio's going to give them a bit of a runaround right now. It doesn't matter, you're going to lose a mid lane tower for this. Now you can peel back as Xiaoya.
Cash in?
It's wasting time, but I mean, I don't think you care.
At some point, LGD might just say, guys, is it worth it to chase this Xin Zhao across the map?
Well, think about when he dies. There's a Baron up, and he's going to be dead now for a long time.
The rest of OMG are trying to book it to the top side just to establish vision control, because you have to know that this will be the next objective that LG look at without a jungler for 42 seconds, but...
Decision.
Xiaoya's got to be a little careful. No flash available. Still a cleanse, but if he gets swooped in by an Emperor's Divide, it will not matter. Everyone from LGD is in the pit. Public execution does not land because he used the stasis to block it. Baron secured. Can they fight out of the pit? The Emperor's Divide onto 3, but Haichao is the only one that can hit. He takes out Tang Yuen, but now has to rely on Harry and Starry to clean up the rest. OMG have to rally behind their 2 remaining carries. Rio's back from the grave, but Xiaoya gets another cash in, picks up the double, and I think LGD are running away with this one.
Well, they're going to get themselves, I say out. Rio still hunting, still looking for a potential final kill. Xiaoya kind of caught right here. He's got the Baron empowered recall.
W?
No!
Oh my goodness! Okay, well, Rio is going to put an end to Xiaoya's reign on the Draven.
They are in control at the moment. You have got all of the gold, all of the kills exactly where you want it to be right now. And they've also got as much control over this Drake pit as they want.
They're pushing into LGD, which could be a great position for YCX to unleash his ultimate. Will Moham use the shield preemptively? He's also trying to threaten on the left. 3k HP on the dragon right now. Wind becomes lightning, brings it 2k. Hostile takeover, right on Haichao, tries to flash away. Rio does secure the dragon and denies soul point once again. Moham is trying to make sure that he can protect his backline, but Starry is all the way in Narnia. How did he get over there? Tang Yuen will try to run him down, and Haichao has made it clear out of the fight because he was chunked to bits. Starry, no way he gets out.
He's out.
That is
He's
crazy. Somebody cue the Yakety Sax theme, because Haichao TP's back in the mid lane, ensures that his bot laner is safe. Harry joins the fray, so does Moham. The public execution on the Tang Yuen, and not even a bailout will save him this time. OMG denies soul again, shore up the gold deficit, and they're pushing through mid.
Yeah, I mean, there's long death timers right now. 20 seconds until Xiaoya is going to be back up and available. 15 until Sasa. I don't think they're going to be able to end right here. But what a swing in this game. OMG, they weather the early game storm. They come back from the deficit in Drakes. And they're going to get themselves into a controlling position in this game.
Holy moly, Blockster. This is bonkers.
This is what happens. Have any way to be able to keep him alive beyond YCX sitting there with a hostile takeover. Now, that has worked for them so far. It isn't a plan that can't have fruit, but
Rio
I mean,
has
this
GA,
could just
so
happen.
he can just go in with the impunity, and Xiaoya, the main gold advantage has been dropped. Sasa goes in, dodges the Emperor's Divide with the W, but he can't dodge the rest of the damage coming in from OMG. 2 carries eliminated from...
Unable to protect onto your ADC. And like I said, that's just going to be a Baron going straight on over right here for OMG. Not particularly strong, but his late game drive to just go in. He only has a forwards button on his keyboard, and he presses it consistently. I really like the way he's been playing it. It looks like they're going to go again right here underneath this bot lane tier 3 tower. These 2 Baron-empowered cannon minions are making short work of the tower, and this game may very soon be over.
Yep. First inhibitor turret and first inhibitor of the game finally breached, and it's for OMG, not the team that had the 8,000 gold lead just 10 minutes ago. OMG now on the precipice of winning game 1 of this series, putting themselves one step closer to qualifying for Knight's rivals and making a run to the playoffs. Haichao and Harry being the ones to step up and poke out Tang Yuen away from the rest of his team. Quick flash from Hong, looks for the Cyclone. Emperor's Divide is thrown out, tries to create space. Haichao is eliminated, but OMG still have 4 members strong. Starry is pushing through the Nexus turrets. Hostile takeover, complete whip, only hits onto Harry. Harry. Rio knocks up one onto Shalia, puts the Draven behind, and he can't do enough to save this game. OMG, take game 1.
A little bit of interest up in the top lane, can push the Sion around just a little bit, but this might also draw these junglers up towards the top lane, when previously I would have thought they would have very much wanted to be looking bot lane.
I wouldn't be against Hong trying to play through this Rek'Sai lane and give him an advantage. However, Rio, oh, look at this, red buff into cross and catches Tong Yuan against the wall. Oh my goodness, just give him the MVP already of the series. Rio giving Haichao first blood. Neither jungler are level 6, but that favors Rio a lot more since Hong would really love to have cease and desist to make a play for this dragon. Bot lane comes up from OMG. Good seismic shove prevents Tong Yuan from getting jumped on. Is still 1400 HP on the dragon. They go in on that? Oh no, Hong pays for it dearly. YCX and Shalia are just gonna get run down, and my goodness, blocks her. The first move that LGD makes of the game ends in complete disaster.
Champions? I mean, the person that did the most damage in that team fight for LGD was the Drake. The Drake nearly kills Rio. Nobody from LGD does.
And Sasa now has the flash? Oh boy. These things are... Well, LGD in for a penny, in for the whole thing, and might as well just repeat the visit onto the bot side now that you knew that the Ashe had no flash. See and desist at least set up the play, and you know what? Credit to LGD, they're not going to let...
Playable for him.
Shalia steps up forward. Great use of the cleanse on the arrow. And Tong Yuan wants to follow up, knowing that there is no flash. Tidal wave off the seismic shove. Beautiful setup by LGD. But can they deal with the teleport? Great bubble onto Haichao's entrance. He's forced to use the ultimate just to run away. He had to pop the flash just so he wasn't in the cease and desist range.
Oh boy, that's a real turnaround right here from LGD. As much as that first play from him was bad, they're looking much better. Haichao.
Hung is gonna send it. Haichao gets flicked back. Wait a minute, Bloxer. LGD completely persistent and not letting go.
What did we say during the early walk away?
Fair play? Fair play. Just go.
There's 0 universes in which going for that would have been a good decision for LGD, just like the previous time out, and they learned from their mistakes. Not going to be able to walk this one away. YCX,
Great arrow onto the fish, and the Grand Starfall is far enough that he can look for YCX even after the flash, and Shalia gets caught by the Encore. There is Between Worlds from Haichao. Shalia manages to at least trade with a stray rocket into the back of Starry, but Hong now looking for the follow from Tong Yuan if he can get a rage. Cease and desist. It's not going to be in time. Tong Yuan now in trouble as he's able to speed on out thanks to his skates.
You have to win the Vision War already, otherwise you're definitely going to fall behind.
There's a control ward from OMG in the pit, so they see LGD starting it up. Arrow looks for Shalia. He does have the cleanse, finally uses it just to make sure he's not in range of Rio's stun. TP. He has Tong Yuan behind him. TP is coming in. Hong steps up, takes a lot of damage. Rio on the wrong side with the shield, gets knocked up at the cease and desist. The jungler's the first one to fall. Story is next. LGD make 2 quick picks, and that should be the Rift Herald secured.
Oh, the shield being the wrong way. I don't know that Rio's able to survive either, even if it's going the right way, but that definitely leaves him vulnerable. And I absolutely love thinking that it's going to happen, being like, oh, we can take this Rift Herald in, but Tong Yuan was never really going to be able to. Still, I'm going to start this one up.
Arrow goes in, Tidal Wave breaks open the fight. Hung does secure the dragon, denies third away from OMG, but Between Worlds causes a lot of commotion, but Haichao gets dropped anyway. Decent knocker from Salsa onto the front line, but Starry can still fire away with these arrows. Hung finds his moment, cease and desist into the Tulia combo. There it is! Well synchronized from the LGD core, and now Shalia gets the pepper in these rockets one after another. It doesn't matter how tanky you are, Harry, because you've got no more damage dealers behind you. LGD, massive win on the third dragon.
And that looked like such a risky fight right there for LGD. You're going in a little bit split, not fully together, but it doesn't matter in the end. The fact they're able to get themselves away with the Drake as well is critical. Now Tong Yuan lands himself a great seismic shove, and now Ryu might be the one in trouble.
You have to walk into darkness, and you have to use your tools correctly to make sure that you're not getting one of your key members blown up by the pick composition.
Oh. They go in for this fight. Okay, just about enough space going to be available for the OMG members to run.
Tidal Wave parts OMG members, but no one is really in danger. It just guarantees that LGD walks away after taking the tier 1 turret.
That tier 1 turret, they couldn't get it with the Rift Herald, but they are just about going to be able to. This objective teleport now going to come in from OMG. They're looking to respond.
Xiaoya is on a control ward. He's got to be careful. Okay, he takes the blast cone, but Harry
no.
is now alongside him. There's no Valkyrie available. They're trying to beat up on Harry right now. Two-man decimating smash into the encore, but the tidal wave is great response. Haichao trying to eliminate Sasa on the right side, but he goes invulnerable with the Void Rush. Still dies anyway. Rio goes forward. Xiaoya Valks in. Oh, he's playing with fire on that one, but he has the full confidence of his team.
What? What? No!
No! Haichao! Don't tell Cubby! OMG now starting to fall to pieces, but now it's up to Star and Harry to turn this fight around. It's a 3v4. Xiaoya looking critically low. They go back in. Decimating smash connects. Harry can land the slow. Hung tries to protect his bot laner from falling. The volley connects, and they're slowed. Hung will be sacrificed so that Xiaoya can make it out alive, but OMG can now secure the 3rd dragon for themselves.
The remaining members of OMG bail Haichao out. They're going to be able to pick themselves up this soul point in a messy, bloody fight. But Starry does just enough to be able to slow up the members, landing as many volleys as possible, and it makes it impossible to reposition mid-fight.
Barely dodged another stray rocket coming out, this time not falling to Xiaoya in the trade. Hong says, we are killing this Seraphine. Cease and desist already used, and Sasa easily able to follow up. There is no more encore available for OMG since they already used it as well. And now Rio and Haichao might be in danger in a 5 versus 2 dive, but the minion wave is killed off, and OMG maybe have a little bit of time to stall for, but the next minion wave is coming in fast, and Starry cannot join with his teammates because he's being cut off by the rest of LGD. Rio chunked out. Rio is completely blown out. And Haichao on the other side trying to link up with Harry, but Hung has found this Aurora. There's no flash available for Haichao, but Hung already used the cease and desist. Haichao might get a chance to get out alive, but now Harry is completely isolated in a 1v4, and unfortunately for him, he's just a tank, and this meatball will get no value whatsoever. And Haichao does manage to survive.
It's Baron. Look at where this fight lands. You end up having multiple members going down.
I'm in the position of OMG. You are grateful that you secured a 3rd dragon for yourself, because you can always just wait for the Baron buff to expire. Oh no, Rio! Rio! Oh no,
Oh,
Rio! Oh no! I'm so sorry, King. The flash into the wall was unfortunately caught in 4K, and you're gonna have to live that memory down if this ends up going to game 3.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, knowing observers in the LPL, we may well get a cinematic replay of that one. For right now, the push is going to continue on, and now without the threat of the Grand Starfall, it means there's so much less pick potential from this OMG composition. They've got push going on in the mid lane, they've got push going on in the top lane, and right now this Baron at power play is going to net them a huge increase of gold.
Rio's not up for another 20
Anything
seconds.
OMG can do to jump forwards whilst this Baron buff is still running. 10 seconds until this one falls back off again, and then as OMG you are unlocked to try to play the game once again. Oh boy, in what was a game that looked OMG favoured for a little bit, it has completely flipped on its head.
Yeah, that's the 2nd dragon over in LGD's pocket. The extra mana and HP sustain.
As OMG you are unlocked to try to play the game once again. Oh boy, in what was a game that looked OMG favoured for a little bit, it has completely flipped on its head.
Yeah, that's the 2nd dragon over in LGD's pocket. The extra mana and HP sustain does at least allow them to survive any meaningful poke that OMG would try to hurl their way.
Maybe 2 wards that I can see for OMG. They will be walking into complete and utter darkness. They're very much going to be reliant right here on the Hawk Shot to give them that little bit of vision they need. And it might not matter.
From Tung Yuen tags Rio and clips him with the seismic shove. GA is about to be expended. Can anyone from OMG save the jungler? Cease and desist will be used on Rio. Hung goes in. His GA is popped. Haichao creates a lot of damage, but Xiao is still fairly healthy. The rest of OMG trying to stand behind Harry for now.
They've done it.
They trade junglers 1 for 1 so far. It's a 4 versus 4. It's not a bad look for OMG so far. Rest of LGD maintains space and control. But for the rest of OMG, it's not the worst scenario that could have happened.
No, that's it. Hung is just stopped dead in his tracks, but more importantly, over on the backside of the map, Xiaoyu, YCX, Tangyuan, they all stopped being able to hit for just a split second.
Back to live? YCX forced to flash away. Tidal Wave will clip Harry as the seismic shove and bubble also connect, but Harry's way too tanky to die off of that first rotation. Saucer with a great flame, and he and Hong split up the fight. Starry is the first one to fall. Rio will be next. Hari will be third, and Haichao cannot bail out his top lane. LGD are ready to take this series the full distance. Bloxer with all 5 still alive. They can push in for a game 2 win.
And we talked about what needed to happen in this game for LGD to be able to come out on top. They needed to find themselves a couple picks. They needed some sniper accuracy out of Tangyuan to be able to hit as many of those seismic shoves as possible. And it has been a really good look from him. LGD pushing forwards onto the base. It will be one final game to decide who makes it out of Group Nirvana and who's sitting out.
Haichao, one last Hail Mary attempt to blow up the minion wave. Encore comes out. It's a whiff. The first Nexus turret falls, followed quickly by the second. LGD take game 2. Gone for in any instance. I think Syndra's great because you have so much physical damage. You have an overwhelming amount of physical damage, and if you didn't pick a mid laner that felt super
lacking in overall CC as LGD, you've got yourself a lot of slows, but in terms of easy to hit stuns and knockups, a lot less of those.
Xiaoyu? Bone Skewer tags him. Deadly Flourish does not connect though. Xiaoyu is still completely fine, does not pop the flash or the barrier. Dragon already at 2500. Can Rio get in? He's right on top of the dragon. They pull in YCX. What's the target selection? Where are we going? Are we doing the dragon? Are we looking for the kill? LGD secure the first dragon, but YCX is the first one to drop in its first blood, going over to Starry's Jin. One more bullet in the chamber. Flashes for Hong. Gets dropped by Xiaoyu in the cross, but he goes down anyway, and it's a double for Hong. This pick definitely been the most exciting that I have been for him on this OMG roster. Looking to corral the members of LGD, and Steadfast Presence used way too early. Flash for the Cataclysm into the Scatter the Weak stun. Hung doesn't get a chance to use the Keeper's Verdict. Here comes the curtain call, looking for more members. Xiaoyu getting slowed up, takes one more bullet, but pulled back in. Wait a minute, Xiaoyu, did he fly back in? That's crazy. He doesn't get punished for that.
He had to step a little bit further forwards, otherwise he was going to get knocked up by the flag and drag, just about going to be able to get away, but still OMG grabbed themselves
of these grubs. No chance for OMG to even pick up the third one. It's all 3 going over to LGD.
Indeed. They've had control over these objectives. YCX does get pulled back into the Scatter the Weak. Okay, good thing that Unleash power was not available the way that the Caitlyn works. I'm surprised to see it first, though. A lot of people have been grabbing it a little bit later on in the builds.
Sasa might be the first to die here. Oh, well timed on the Pathfinder.
Oh, he gets a kill back.
Oh, no! Sasa outplays Rio's Jarvan Engage.
There we go.
With his front line, just to make sure that there's at least one tool. Moham flash into the undertow. Xiaoyu immediately flashes it. Here comes the TP. Curtain call, looking for multiple bullets. Fourth one does connect on the Hung for minimal damage. Harry now threatening as he's into the pit. Tries to force Hung out and away from the Rift Herald.
Oh, the damage.
Right behind, and they can secure this Rift Herald. Do they not have Smite? Okay, well, Harry kills YCX in the back line, and Haichao does secure the Rift Herald. Yes, Smite was down for Rio. That could have been scary for OMG, but now the rest of them just need to make sure that they can get away. Sasa cannot look for the engage since Moham pulls him away from Starry with that Bone Skewer.
Just about gonna save the life of his ADC right there. Moham still stepping up, trying to just clear through this wave. And in the end, we have a look back at what ends up happening. Rift Herald does get picked up by OMG.
There an immediate Serpent's Fang rush, but they might feel confident enough that they're so far ahead. They do not fear the shields coming out from YCX's Karma yet. Might just be looking for an Umbral Glaive, the Shadow Flame. Extra penetration, knowing that LGD are forced to mostly build armor for this heavy physical damage composition. Oh, great bump by Rio! The flag and drag! Outplayed, unfortunately, Hung, but Rio just showing how good his Jarvan mechanics are. Sasa comes into the fight, but it's a 1v4, forced to flash away from another flag and drag, and there's the Cataclysm to lock this Cassante down. Dodges out of the Scatter the Weak stun. He is so tanky.
He's so
because
tanky.
LGD cannot get quite in just yet. Tonga finally finds an angle, but the Grim Deliverance over the top continues to push LGD back. There's the all-out. Sasa has one last chance to turn this fight around. The Pathfinder will not be enough to break open the fight for LGD. OMG pick up 2 kills, and there's nothing for LGD to get. He dodged so many other abilities beforehand, and crucially, a majority of the damage that he dodged out was from Haichao Syndra. So the fact that he's able to get so much value off of the early armor rush into essentially a 4 AD damage carry composition, it is going to provide a lot of value as long as he's able to space out the Syndra damage but OMG roster. But this game could lead to a Knights Rivals run into playoffs for OMG, and it would really turn his story around. Gives them brief vision of that river entrance. It has been stuffed out by OMG. Harry continuing to put split push pressure on the bottom side.
Catch waves over in the side, does indeed go and match Harry onto this side lane. And you saw in that fight as well, Tango was stepping up to a couple of members and dealing big damage. He's going to drop the Arcane Storm. He has Xiaoya with him.
They don't know Xiaoya until now, but Harry has to call for the rest of OMG. You need to force a play somewhere.
There's
he
the
flashes
stacks.
right on top of Xiaoya. Grim
He's got the
Deliverance
stacks.
has the full stack.
Oh, he
No,
doesn't.
he's not quite there. Big shutdown going over to Xiaoya's pockets on the
Once
cape.
he puts down, or just into that curtain call. You're giving your team something else. But right now, not being able to quickly threaten onto a Baron is hurting OMG.
Oh, Flash Cataclysm engaged. Phantom Undertow
No!
lands onto the front line. Oh, Hong is the first one to drop. They take out another one next, and YCX Xiaoya is under fire, and they pull Sasa out of the curtain call bullet. OMG! Just eliminated 3, and Sasa will try to do everything he can to save this series and to save LGD's split, but I don't think it's enough, Bloxer.
Again, so good at just pulling the trigger, finding the engage, and they're going to be able to turn this one around. Baron at pick up right here, and there's not even going to be a response from LGD over onto the Drake. They can take their recalls, come back out onto the map with the fast resets you get because of the Hex
To let the game just end off of a fight over Hex Tech Soul, they're going to have to dig deep if they want to continue their split and make a out of the Cataclysm. It's an ulti for ulti. Cassante will not be nearly as strong in the next upcoming fight if OMG continue to push.
Is he going to come back? I mean, you get a tower for that. You lose out onto a tower and your inhibitor, but I guess that is gold. And actually, he's going to stick around. Really bold right here from somebody without a teleport.
Oh, look at the damage from Haichao Syndra! One shot onto the support, one shot onto the jungler, and now Tongyuan, oh, it's Sasa trying to TP in and cut off the minion wave and buy even more time for LGD. Tongyuan did manage to pick up a death cap, but will it be the saving grace for LGD without your jungler and support for another 30 seconds? It's hard to believe, and OMG are ready to take this series and continue their path into Knights Rivals. The first Nexus turret is gonna get dropped. Xiaoya and Tongyuan are trying to hold the line, but it's a quick flash from Starry, not even needing the 4th bullet to execute his opponent. Tongyuan sidesteps the Scatter the Weak stun, but you can't sidestep this loss. OMG win the series and grant